That's right. I left social media for a year. My name is Dalton Hayes, and I left social media a year ago. And it has been quite an experience. There's a lot of things I expected, but there's a lot of things that happened that I didn't think would happen. I felt a lot of emotions and got to see the world in just a totally different point of view. And anyways, this is my experience. I left social media August 21st of 2017. I remember I woke up that day. I did not even think about leaving social media that morning. I just went through my day, checked all of my social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, just checked it all, and really did not expect by the end of the day to be like, okay, I am leaving, this is it, I'm leaving. And I had thought about leaving social media way before that, just thinking, a couple months before, just thinking, man, I wonder what it would be like to just leave and just up and leave. What would the experience be like? And so that's what I did. That afternoon, I left social media that day. And anyways, here's some footage from that day. You know, saying this, I don't plan on checking Facebook, Instagram, nothing. I'm grounded. So yeah, after that day, I haven't checked it since, and now here we are a year later, and it has been quite a journey, not gonna lie. But anyways, so why did I really leave? There's more to it than I just decide, oh yeah, I wonder what it would be like, and so I'll just leave. No, one of the big reasons I left was because I was addicted. I checked it all day, every day, was just constantly on my phone, just checking social media, seeing what other people were up to, and was just focusing on what other people were doing, and that really put me in a bad state of mind, and I was wasting time doing it. I was ultimately wasting a lot of time, spending like 2 or 3 hours a day just on social media, just on my phone, seeing what everyone else was up to. And so that was a really big reason I left. Another reason I left was because I kept getting let down by my friends. I would ask friends if they wanted to hang out or do this or something else, and they would say, no, I can't because I gotta do this, and they would give me some excuse for why they couldn't do it. But then you would go check their Snapchat or Instagram, and you see that they posted a picture or someone else posted a picture of them with someone else, and they were out doing something else, and even after you asked them to hang out and they said they were doing this and they said they would be busy, they weren't actually busy. And so it ultimately just really hurt me. I really wish they would have just said, no, I can't hang out because I'm already doing this, or I just don't want to hang out with you, Dalton. I just don't want to hang out with you. And the same thing happened with girls too. If I got the courage to ask a girl, hey, you want to hang out? Or if I even asked them like on a date if they want to go do something, they would give me some dumb excuse of why they couldn't do that. But then you would check their social media later and they were actually doing something else. Like, come on, I wish you would have just said no. What was my expectations for leaving social media? I had a lot of expectations for leaving social media. Whenever I left, my expectations were, okay, people are going to wonder where I'm at. They're going to text me. They're going to call me. They're going to be like, hey, Dalton, I haven't seen you. You haven't liked one of my posts. I haven't got to like one of your posts because you haven't posted anything. Where are you? But ultimately, not a single friend texted me and said like, hey, where are you? What are you up to? What are you doing? And that really hurt. It led me to believe that people don't care about what other people are doing on social media. They just care about their own profiles and what they're doing and what their life looks like on social media. And I say that because you'll see someone post something, but then they'll not like it or think that that was a stupid post, and so let's go back and delete it. So they're essentially trying to erase their past and trying to change their past, but you can't change the past. And what was my experience like without social media? And being someone like me who was addicted to it and was constantly checking it, to going to a person who never checked it at all, it was quite depressing. And about every other month I'd be like, man, no one sees what I'm doing. I don't know what anyone else is doing. Like, in my mind, everyone else was having a great life. And a lot of my friends who I graduated high school with, who are now in college, I'm not seeing what they're doing. And in my mind, they're just out living the college experience, going to class and being laid back, having a good time and going to parties and just having a great overall experience and making way more friends and having more friends than me, because I went to secondary school where I only had essentially 20 kids in my class, and that was it. Like, it was just 20 kids. and they had a whole variety of friends at their big colleges they went to. Without social media, I got depressed. I felt lonely. I couldn't see what other people were doing, and it was just I really did feel down. I felt like I didn't have anyone to see. But also, without social media, I was happier because I wasn't worried about what so-and-so was doing or what so-and-so was doing. I was just focused on me. I was just worried about living my life. I wasn't worried about what other people are doing. And a lot of times whenever I was on social media, I would see my friends or these people I knew doing these awesome, wonderful things, like skydiving or going out to eat with their friends or going to get to go see that show or go visit that city. And it made me just jealous, and I would just put my mind in their shoes and think, man, that must have been an awesome experience, and I shouldn't do that. I shouldn't compare my life to other people's lives. But I did, and I fought myself for it. And so when I was on social media, getting to see those people go through those experiences and me just sitting back, just watching as an audience member, it really hurt. It made me jealous and made me think my life was awful compared to theirs. And I shouldn't do that to myself, but I did do that, and that's ultimately what was happening to me while I was on social media. But without social media, I didn't have to worry about any of that. It was just like, this is my life, and this is what I'm doing, and I don't have to worry about what other people are doing, and I won't compare myself to others. Another thing, without social media, I felt lost in today's world. It's a totally different world than what's trending on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. I thought I knew what was going on in today's world, but really I didn't. And without social media, I wasn't on my phone near as much. Like I said, I was addicted. I was on it constantly. But without social media, I had really no reason to check my phone. I mostly just used my phone for talking, texting, and listening to music. And without social media, I wouldn't just bust out my phone and just look at it. It was amazing to see how many people would just be on their phones at a table together. Like, you see a group of 2 or a group of 4, and all of them would be just over there, just on their phone. They'd just be playing on their phone and not being in the moment with the people they were around. And with me not on social media, I got to observe this and think, wow, everyone is a zombie. The social media is controlling them. Like, that's all they're on constantly. And they're not focused on what's happening right now in the moment. And whenever I would see a friend out in public at a store or something and get to see them, I would actually catch up with them. I wouldn't just ask them about, like, oh, I saw you did this, I saw you did that, how was that, how was that? It would be like, no, I have no idea what you've done, so let's catch up about it. I have no idea what's going on in your life right now. And whenever I would see my friends and I would talk to them and be like, they would automatically think I knew what was already happening in their lives. Oh, did you see whenever I went to blah, 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 or did you see that? Or they just start talking about something like I knew what was going on, and really I had no idea what they were talking about. And so that was really interesting. Like, no, we gotta catch up because I have no idea what you're talking about. And that was really interesting. That happened a lot. Like, people would just think I was in the know, but really I wasn't, because I wasn't on social media, and a lot of people didn't believe I was off social media. They wouldn't believe it. Like, this 19-year-old kid in today's day of age, off social media? Yeah. And while I was off social media, I got to meet someone who also isn't on social media. And they're not that much older than me. And to just hear their point of view is just like, wow, that's awesome. Like, that's a great point of view. I asked them, like, hey, why aren't you on social media? They were like, well, if someone wants to know what I'm doing or cares to know what I'm doing or wants to hang out, they can always call me or text me. And then whenever they do, I'll actually catch up with them. I never have to just see their life go by, and they don't have to just see my life go by. We can actually reconnect and meet. And if they actually care about me and if I actually care about them, I will reach out to them or they will reach out to me. And that was pretty heavy to just get to hear that from someone else who also isn't on social media and who has never been on social media, and just know that they have that point of view. But yeah, without social media, I didn't feel jealous. I didn't feel let down. I felt happier. And it took a while before I really got happy. Like, I was depressed and I got lonely for a long time. About at month 7 or 8, I really just got to the point where it's like, man, I don't care. I really don't care what is going on in today's world, and I don't care what people think of me. No one gets to see what I'm doing, so why do I even care? And I even found this footage of whenever I really didn't care. I got to this point where I was just growing my hair and I would just let it grow, because ultimately I didn't care what people thought of me, because I was like, I'm not posting anything, people can't see what I'm doing, my friends have no idea what I'm doing, and so I don't care how I look, and so I ultimately just don't care. And anyways, here's that footage right here. I was like, I just given up. I don't care about impressing girls anymore. I just don't care how I look. I'm just gonna let it go. It costs money to keep yourself looking good, and I just don't want to do it anymore. I don't care enough. And I just keep telling people I plan on letting it grow out for a year, and I really want to cut it, but I just don't care. It can just get in my eyes, and I'll just keep doing that douchebag hair twitch. But I feel real lonely. I felt lonely a lot, because I wasn't in today's world of what was going on, and I didn't know what my friends were doing, and my fellow high school graduates, I didn't know what they were doing, my old friends, and just ultimately felt lost in what was going on in today's world. But just a couple months ago, I finally got to the point where I actually am happy. I'm happy to not have it. I'm happy to not be on. I'm happy to not be worrying about what other people are doing, and I'm happy because I built even bigger, stronger relationships without social media. Even if it is just a group of about 5 or so people, like, I'm happy to have those relationships and get to build those relationships with those people, and just to connect with them on a totally different level, and not just through a camera lens where people can just mold their life and show what they want in their life versus what has really happened in their life. And that's sad. That was your life. You lived that moment. Why would you try to change your past and try to change the way your life looks? And that's another thing. I really think a lot of people just care about what their own profiles and what they see their life as versus what it really is. I feel that people aren't being genuine, and that they are just trying to act like a good person even though they're not a good person. I've seen a lot of people post on social media who seem like a good person, but in reality they're not a good person. And I've seen people post pictures where they look totally different from what they really look like in real life. I've seen girls do this where they post a photo and they seem like a really good person with their caption and their comments and posts they've liked and people they follow, and ultimately look good in the photo they posted. But in reality, they don't look that great, don't look as great as that photo they posted, and they're not as nice out in the real world versus on social media. And it was just sad. And same thing with guys too. Guys would do the same thing, and it was just so sad to see people try to portray themselves in a totally different way versus who they really are. So, am I glad I did it? Am I glad I left social media for a year? And in some way, I want to say no, because I did get depressed. I did feel really lonely, and I feel like I've fallen behind in the lives of many people I got to meet. And I've lost many of those relationships, and I don't hardly remember a lot of the people that I knew unless I actually saw them in real life, and then it would probably snap, be like, oh yeah, I know that person. But also there's the people who I wasn't really that close to, who I met at a basketball camp I went to for 1 week, or just met on a mission trip, and then I got to stay connected with them through social media, and I've lost those relationships and will probably never get those relationships back. And it's sad to see them go, because I know a lot of them are great people, and I've got to talk to every single one of them and just get to see their life and see what amazing, extraordinary things they're doing. But now I won't even get to see them anymore. And that's because I don't plan on returning to social media, because I am enjoying life. I'm not worried about what other people are doing, and I'm not worried about what I'm posting or getting upset because my post hasn't got a certain amount of likes, or because I asked someone if they want to do something, but it turns out they decided to go do something else, and they posted about it and weren't afraid to hurt my feelings. But I am glad I did it, because how many people can say they did it, especially in today's age where people are just addicted and they are literally zombies, like me, just seeing old classmates and they are constantly on their phone. It's crazy how many of them are just on their phone constantly, and it's just so sad to see that it's in so much control of us, and it's just taking so much of our attention. We are wasting so much time just seeing what other people are doing versus us living our lives and being in the moment and actually connecting to people on a personal level. And without social media, I got to pass secondary school. I made it through secondary school, and with social media, I don't think I could have done it, because I wouldn't have been as focused on the task at hand, which was school, some of the hardest schooling I've ever been a part of. but I made it through it, and I got to meet some great, wonderful, fantastic people and got to build relationships with them on a personal level, and I still get to see them to this day and get to talk to them on a daily basis, and that is just a wonderful feeling to me that I got to build those strong relationships with them. And I feel like one of the luckiest guys in the world to just get to have met that group of people. And also with social media, I got to start a podcast. I do it on this app called Anchor. You can download the app and listen to my podcast, but I don't recommend it. I would recommend something like Google Podcast or Spotify, and there's also 5 other podcasting platforms that have my podcast on them. And yeah, it's something I've been doing every day for the past 140 days. I've done over 140 recordings, and I literally do a recording every day. It's around 5 to 8 minutes. I just talk about what's going on in my life, or just something I think about, or philosophies about life. It's all over the place on this podcast. But ultimately, I want to end this video with me just taking old footage of mine, footage from this past year, some footage from old videos, and just throwing it together and just putting together a little montage here at the end and just showing some of the experiences and some of the highlights from this past year without social media. So, here we go.
You need a haircut so bad.
Oh, well, thank you.
I see the lines,
No.
the time designs. They chart a map across your face.
Pretty cool.
With every smile,
Hey, good deer hunting spot. Hell yeah.
they build their mile.
Fuck, I've never been out here before.
And with each tear, at twice the pace. We were young a year ago. That's all it takes. That's all it takes. We were young a year ago. Is it too late? Is it too late? The second hand comes round again. It lives to pass and will not land. It is our fate.
That really got to me today. That's all that today.
With
Go the rest of the day.
each new
Hopefully
day.
this year. Hopefully I do.
The hourglass
Hopefully I will.
becomes the sand. We were young a year ago. That's all it takes. That's all it takes. We were young a year ago. Is it too late? Is it too late? We were young a year ago. That's all it takes. That's all it takes. We were young.
I really wanted to end this video with me returning to social media, and that was the plan. But I don't think I'm going to return. I don't plan on returning anytime soon, but maybe one day. But for now, I'm just like, I'm happy where I am and with what's going on in my life right now, so I'm not going to do it.
And we were young a year ago. That's all it takes. That's all it takes. We were young a year ago. Is it too late? Is it too late? We were young a year ago. That's all it takes. That's all it takes. We were young a year ago. Is it too late? Is it too late?
Anyways, I hope you enjoyed. I plan on making more videos like this in the future and to continue to make videos and to continue doing my podcast. If you want to look for my podcast, you can find it on Anchor or Spotify, Google Podcasts, and it's on 5 other different podcasting platforms. I will link those down below. But guys, it has just been a great year and a happy experience, and it was rough at first, I'm not gonna lie. I really did feel lonely for a while there, but I'm gonna continue to make videos on this channel and to ultimately just keep putting podcasts out there until the time seems like I shouldn't do it anymore, and who knows where it will lead us, and who knows where this channel will lead us, and this is ultimately where I'm going to be unless I go somewhere different, which you will hear about on this channel or on a podcast. I'm not a person who really likes these videos where people just sit down and talk, and that's ultimately what the podcast is for. But I feel like this one needed to be put out there, and here it is, and I hope you all enjoyed it.